Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Estoy aquí estrenando camiseta. Miren, estos son diseños que estamos haciendo para nuestra página de internet citizensahora.com. Si bien esta camiseta dice Dreams Come True, I am an American citizen. Los sueños es en realidad, soy ciudadano de los Estados Unidos. Muy bonita, muy original. Tenemos otros diseños, visita nuestra página. Pero el día de hoy tenemos una práctica bastante interesante. Tenemos todas las preguntas mezcladas, todas las preguntas revueltas. Esto hace un poquito más difícil, pero lo que sucede es que me han dicho en las experiencias que me han contado que los oficiales de repente cambian el orden de las preguntas y pues ya saben que aquí yo quiero constantemente estarlos ejercitando para que lleguen bien preparados. Entonces el día de hoy por eso no vamos a incluir letras, es una práctica con las preguntas salteadas. Es un reto para ti, para ver qué tanto puedes reconocer y qué tanto puedes responder ante las preguntas. Si quieres saber más información de cómo están haciendo las entrevistas en tu ciudad, en la oficina que a ti te corresponde, te invito a que te suscribas a la cuenta de Instagram citizens-ahora. En esta cuenta vienen personas todos los martes a contarnos cómo fue su experiencia en la entrevista y qué tal si una de esas personas le tocó la entrevista donde a ti te corresponde. Entonces te invito a que te inscribas o suscribas o sigas la cuenta de Instagram. También recuerda suscribirte a este canal de YouTube, darle a like a los videos para que le lleguen a más personas y pues nada, sin nada más que decir, comencemos con la práctica del día de hoy. Mucha suerte. Are you a male who live in the United States between your 18th and 26th birthday? How old are you? Have you ever been placed in alternative sentencing or a rehabilitate program? Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Have you ever advocated the overthrow of any government by force or violence? What is a prison camp? Are all your children living with you? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian directions? Usually when you file your taxes, do you have to pay taxes or you receive a refund? Do you understand what cited is? What kind of job did you have back in your country? In what month and year you become a permanent resident? Have you ever been involved with genocide, with torture, badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose, killing or trying to kill someone, forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relation, not letting someone practice his or her religion? Okay, can you please give me your address? Have you ever been a member of or any way associated with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in other location in the world? Have you ever received any type of military or paramilitary weapons training? Did you not receive a military training back in your country? Do you have your ID with you? Can I see it? Thank you. Were you ever a worker, volunteer, soldier, or do you otherwise ever serve in a prison or jail? In a prison camp, a detention facility, a labor camp, any other place where people were forced to stay? Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the statements you will give and provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or confined into a mental institution? What is an oath of allegiance? Have you ever persecuted any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? Has your spouse been married before? Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Can you please tell me in Spanish what I just asked you? Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? How many trips have you taken out of the United States in the past 5 years? Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been ordered removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, or deportation proceedings? Have you ever tried to enter the United States illegally? Okay. Have you ever been a terrorist? Can you please give me the day that you depart from the United States? And what date you came back? So this trip was for how many days? And what was the purpose of this trip? Any of these trips were more than 6 months? What is your height and your weight? Can you please give me all the names you have used in the past? Were you ever a member of, or that you ever served in any way with any of the following? Military unit, paramilitary unit, police unit, self-defense unit, vigilant unit, rebel group, guerrilla group, militia, insurgent organization. Do you understand what a militia is? Can you please explain to me what a militia is? Please explain to me why you can vote. Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Did you ever ask, sign up, or require, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed force or group? Since you become a lawful permanent resident, have you ever not filed your taxes? Do you have other nationalities? Were you married back in your country? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Have you ever received a suspended sentence, being placed on probation, or being paroled? When was the last time that you filed your taxes? Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Okay. Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for, associate in any way with the Nazi government of Germany? Is your spouse a U.S. citizen? Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain a public benefit in the United States? Do you want to change your name? Have you ever committed, assisted in commit, or attempt to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? Since you sent your application, have you traveled again? Are all your children your biological children? Okay. If the law requires that, are you willing to perform non-combat services in the U.S. Armed Forces? Okay. Are you married? Do you know the requirements to be a U.S. citizen? Have you ever sold, smuggled, controlled substance, illegal drugs, or narcotics? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government official to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain an immigration benefit while in the United States? Are all your children U.S. citizens? Were you ever in prison or jail in your country? Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? When was the last time that you traveled out of the United States? Have you ever been a totalitarian? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or pay alimony? What's your spouse's date of birth? Please give me your date of birth. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer for any reason? What's your spouse's name and last name? Do you still have the same address? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government official? What is your social security number? How did you become a permanent resident? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Do you file your taxes by yourself or with your spouse? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain immigration benefits? Have you ever given any U.S. government official any information or documentation that was falsifying or misleading? How many times have you been married? Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything to help or support people in combat? Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? Do you have your green card with you? Do you also have your passport? Can I see them? Thank you. Do you have any children under 18 years old? Do you now have or that you ever had inheritance title in order of nobility from any foreign country? Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Okay. Have you ever been a communist? Where were you born? Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election? Okay. Have you ever been a habitual drunkard? Have you ever been charged with committed, attempted to commit, or assisted in committing a crime or offense? Do you owe any federal, state, or local taxes? Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Have you ever been in prison or jail? What do you do for a living? Can you spell your spouse's last name? Thank you, congratulations, you have approved your citizenship interview. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo te fue en la práctica? Espero que te haya ido excelente. Déjame saber en los comentarios si te hizo fácil o si te hizo un poco difícil. Recuerda seguirnos en la cuenta de Instagram. También ve a ver la página si te interesa una de estas playeras. Mucha suerte si tienes tu entrevista esta semana. Si no la tienes, no te preocupes. Aquí seguiremos trabajando duro para que llegues bien preparado para ese día tan importante. Nos vemos.